We are all related. The problems that we associate with life here on Earth are problems that are caused by our inability. I don't know what our problem is really, but by our inability to see each other as one. If I'm thinking that we are all related and that we are as one thing that we all share is nature. I think that my use of nature probably happened because I figured we would all understand what that was and what it means and how we all somehow stemmed from that. When we think about Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden, a story that is shared by many, many, many peoples and cultures. There was a garden, and that was the beginning. The way I know how to talk about being alive is by making what people call art. I was a performance artist and continue to make performances, and I worked with lots of other people on performances. And so I did live action things, and I did more traditional sorts of sculptures, things that were three-dimensional, and some kind of combination of those things in installations. And and throughout it all, I've been really trying to explain what it's like to be alive to myself and the people who look at my work. I use the material called wire rope to make most of my sculptures that deal with the issues of nature. And I do this because it looks like something growing. It looks as if it's being blown by currents of the wind. It looks as if it's been ravaged by some disease. It looks as if it's sturdily growing in spite of all the elements that would be against its growth. It looks natural to me, even though it's wire and even though it's rope, all of which is manufactured. In the piece field, the wire rope is mounted onto concrete blobs. That started out being in a show, and I remember holding my son, who at that point was under 1 year old, and my daughter was there. She was probably about 2.5. I remember looking at the work and thinking that it looked better than I thought it was supposed to look. I remember looking at it and going, wow, that looks pretty good. And then later on, the curator of that show sold the work, and I was happy about that too. And it was sold to a public collection. And then I sort of lost track of it. My life went on. My kids grew up. I taught graduate school for many years in Baltimore. Time really went on. I mean, like maybe 30 or 40 years. And the Nasher contacted me and said, we're thinking of acquiring your piece from, way back when. And well, well, how did you get it? So that whole story went. Um, and then they sent me pictures of its reincarnation, and I was very pleased to see that really nothing had changed. And I was shocked about that too. But you are looking at really the original thing that was made, I don't know, 40 years ago. And It still looks like something swept by the wind, and it's still something that I'm happy that I made, and hope that you will enjoy it.